I already got 2 thumbs up. I like that. What's up, Brandon O'Neill? How you been? See if I can get it where I can read them a little bit easier. What's up, Lou? How's everybody's weekend been? Uh, now maybe I'm still can't read. I'm blind. Y'all know that? Oh. I had fun. I didn't catch no fish. So, how you been, Brandon? I ain't seen you in a while. What's up, Flake? Say, Eric, take a shot. Eric, take a shot. Everybody take a shot if you got one. Everybody take 2 shots if you got one. What'd y'all do today, Lou? I know you went fishing yesterday. I drove home and I did a little bit around the house, not much, and then fought with my computer for about 4 hours a day. Had to uninstall and reinstall my email to make it work. That's always interesting. I wish we could play music on here. YouTube has a fit when you do. Yeah, Lou, it was one of them days, you know. And you get frustrated and want to hit it, but you know you can't afford a new one, so you don't. Okay, new thing I want to do. Y'all that don't know, I've been reorganizing. Well, underneath here, let me get to the right drawer. I got a drawer full of stuff I don't use very often. And some of it might be partial bags, and some of it might be full bags, and some of it might be a little bit of everything. But I mean, I've got okay. I was trying to get a crowd in here. I was wanting more than 4 people. What are you going to talk about? I know you've seen that. Tell me where to fish it, how to fish it. I know what I think where it needs to be fished. Around grass, around timber. On one lake, it's going to get fished around docks because there's a bunch of docks. Hey, I was talking about giving them worms away, brother. It was 3 people in here. And 4 of them ain't interested in any of them baits. I done told everybody to take a shot, float. If you got one. Where are we gonna throw it, Steve? Since you're in here, the professional. Anybody that don't follow him, if you like seeing people catch big fish, Hazen Man, the father. He cheated though. He moved over here from California. He got about a 10-year advance on all of us on this shit. Now, don't hate on him from being from California. He's not the typical Californian, I don't think. Let's get a hook in our hand. That'll be interesting online. These are short. This is the one I'm most interested in throwing right here. God, I gotta get a camera. I hate this computer camera. I ain't got no shots. I'm fresh out. I drank everything I had this weekend. Yeah, L&M, serious business. I'm waiting on a rod and reel to get in. And I'm going to go out, and that's only two. That category of baits is all I'm going to throw. I've got a little lake I want to go to. If I can get out in the kayak, seems like every time I try to use it, something tears up on it, which is not supposed to happen in a kayak. Yeah, I have a feeling Gar will bite them, along with Grinnell, bowfin, whatever you want to call them. Anything slow moving, I've had 8 by both. Just get about. I wish I could. The one I want to look at, I still don't have enough money for. I'm about $1,500 short for it. And I can put up a GoFundMe page and we'll see if we can do it that way. Okay, Oklahoma, are you talking about the Glide or are you talking about the Mega Draft? Or, yeah, Mag Draft. I'll get out here in a minute. Yeah, I'm going to have to, L&M. Definitely going to have to. Yeah, out in the country is everything else, ain't it? Okay, on the Mag Draft. So you won't let it go all the way to the bottom and be an upward retrieve, right? That's what you're saying? Which would be totally different than the way I've ever fished the other one. Well, no, I say that. I've let it go to the bottom of the creek and fished it. What line would you throw it on, Steve? Oh, God. Between my dog and everything else. Drink, Flake. Have fun. It's Sunday, though. I gotta get up and do shit tomorrow. Okay. Like, probably the lake I'm gonna fish at, probably the deepest point is gonna be about 12, 15 foot. The first go around, anyway. And I haven't been there since last year. I don't know how the grass is there. I'm sure after the winter there's not much. If there is, it's deep still. And it don't look like winter's going to leave us anytime soon. What about Payline? What lake we're talking about? That little private, or that looks like a private lake. That little lake up there in Mount Pleasant, Old Town Lake. Steve said, L&M and Lou, Steve said 20 to 25 pound big game. And let's see what I got. I got that right there. See if I can get the focus. I've just about went away from Fluor on most everything. And it's been replaced with the Payline. I fished Payline forever, for years. And when I got out of fishing and started back, everybody was hollering Fluor, so I had to try it out. And there's some of it I like, some of it's garbage. And the Fluor that I like, you can't never find. What do you But that Payline with me is tried and true, like 25 years of tried and true. The first big swim bait fish I ever caught was on probably 20-pound Payline. Yeah, you're gonna need both them baits are gonna take special equipment. A lot of them I throw will not. I mean, like the one glide bait that I throw all the time, I catch most of my fish on. You don't need special equipment. Too much memory for me. I've tried other stuff a ways back. Payline does have memory, but if you fish it, this is any line with memory, and we know how much I fish when I'm fishing. If you fish it enough, it don't have memory. You fish 3 or 4 days a week, there's any line you put on there that's not gonna have memory. Until you go a week without fishing it. I got something for that too. I don't know where it's at. I got Real Magic for that. That takes care of that memory in that Payline. I haven't. Dustin, that is the most chafing line I've used. The only fluoro that I would recommend, and you can't hardly ever find anymore, is the Vicious. That Vanish, if you touch grass, it chafes. My experience. And I can't have a bunch of chafes online. I wind up losing feet a day with it. And rate time way too much. What are you talking about kinks to these? Which one are you talking about, Steve? Talking about fluorocarbon? Let me know. Now, I did, when I was exploring different lines, try some of the Payline fluorocoated, and that's garbage. Straight up the worst shit ever made. I generally use a heavier line than what most people do, and I don't break many fish off. With that Payline, we were breaking shit off every day, 2 and 3 pound fish. With that fluorocoated, I like it, Steve. That's one of them things, a matter of opinions, I reckon. I fished it so long. And I see everybody fish at Berkeley, and I fished it too. Hell, it's probably on one of my reels now. But the only reason you do is because it's so cheap, you can change it every day if you need to. Well, I'm not in that game. If I got to sit in here a half a day and string reels, that's not me. I don't want to do that shit more than once every 2 or 3 months. And back in the day, I've seen them all put on the stress machine, and I know which one held up better on the stress machine by 5 times over any other monofilament made. And I'm gonna be throwing that mag draft, which that mag draft's gonna get through on. I still got some vicious on that reel. It's gonna get through on there because it's still in good shape. And it's 20 pound fluoro. That big one's gonna be on 25 pound Payline. Not sponsored, thank you. Not sponsored. Just a lot of fishing years behind me, knowing what I like. How about that? I'm gonna try to, Lou. I'm gonna try to this week. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do. I got it here somewhere. I don't know where it's at. Line, it's just like a real magic. Yeah. And hell, back in the day, I bowled line. If it was too much of a memory in it, I can take it off, spool out, and bowl some bitch. Not to say that the next go around I won't try the big game, but I've been using Payline up until I started doing YouTube, from about 96 until then. And I can count on one hand how many times I broke something off on it. I can't count on one hand how many times I broke hooks with it. Low, I don't know if it really works. Gets to a point you need to re-spool it. And what Steve's talking about the memory, if you fish every day, your line's not gonna have memory. He don't like that it kinks up, and it will kink up. You get your big old badass backlash, you can ruin a whole spool of line digging it out. I've seen it happen more than once. I was also using pay line when I caught my personal best, and that's what I was doing, was digging out a backlash. I've been known to bird nest them, but of course that was ancient equipment. Most of y'all, if y'all ever use it, would be for catfishing. Steve's probably used them. He's a little bit older. On reels like that, yeah. That's used to be all I fished. That and the can't find them anymore. Is a Quantum 1310. Those are my two go-to reels, and my third choice is always a Shimano Bantam for like smaller stuff. Yeah, I've installed some drawers here under the desk. I don't know what to tell you, Steve. Are you not spooling it right? I can run out to the garage and show you 3 of them, but it feels good on. I fished with this week. Are you running it through the rocks when you're putting it on your reel? Maybe you got it wrapped around your muffler on your truck when you're spooling it up. I don't know. Yeah, you'll never out asshole me. You might not see it in my videos, but you'll never out asshole me on a live. Try as hard as you want to. I don't know what your problem is. Maybe you bought a bad batch. I did get a bad batch one time. That's been 15 years ago. You do what? You have to demonstrate that. I usually sit on the bottom of the swimming pool when I race pool. Drank a beer while I'm sitting there. Oh my goodness. Are you spooling them while they're on the rod? Got some bad ceramic in some of your eyes or something? Steve, I'm just giving you hell. I fish what I like. You know that. You know you have hell making me switch over. And I've seen it with all of it. Every brand you buy, you're going to get some you don't like and some you like. And like I said, if I could get vicious all the time, that's what I throw all my big baits on. And I know you hate the idea of that. And actually, Dustin, I've dumbed shit down. I'm fishing with mainly mono right now. That's not ninja fishing. I have not threw a jig on mono and well since I started back, and that's what I got on my jig rod now. Check Instagram now. Okay. Steve sent me a photo. Let's see what it looks like. Can I show it to everybody? You're not nude, are you? Steve Spoiler. Ah, damn it. Went away too quick. I probably can't open it again. Trying not to have shadow on it. That'll work. If you watch my video, you see how I spoiled mine. I hope you would. I was really hoping that wasn't like a nude or nothing you sent. But buddies, I got you. You gotta watch them. They might send you an ass pic every now and then. Everybody that don't know Steve and don't watch his channel, if y'all want to see a pro catch big fish, go watch his channel. See, I just spit on mine the whole time I'm reeling it in. Keeps them mini fresh. Put a fresh dip in and just spit away. Oh my God, I got to catch back up with my love. Okay. Keep the comments coming. All right, Steve. Tell us more about big baits because I want to tell these other guys what I was talking about with the worms when you pulled up. Spouting shit out. Yeah, oh yeah, wintergreen, of course. And I mean it just smells good. All right, guys. What I was talking about, if we can get it up to 10 likes, I give a bag of worms away because I got like a bunch of shit I don't never use. Some of them may be full, some of them may not be. I mean, I've got shit that has never been opened that I will never open. No, I did not buy it. I won it in a giveaway. Now I might would fish them. I'm not gonna lie. I might would, but y'all can share this out and get us at least 10 likes a video. I'll start giving a package of them away every live. Yeah, I got a certain kind of braid I like that I use. And that's on my frog rod. And if it's heavy cover, I'll flip with that. I mean, But my everyday jig rod, I just went back with. I mean, it worked forever. I don't see why I have to change. Thank you, Lou. How often do you change your big game for real, Steve? Because I know when I've used it in the past on like bigger like stuff, it seemed like I was needing to change it about once a week, once a month, something like that. Just depending on how much I fished. And I know you don't fish as much as I do, or as much as I did. Here lately, I hadn't fished for shit. But and the other braid I use is Cast King, and to me, it and Power Pro, there's no fucking difference. They both fade so bad. Okay, yeah, that's about what I try to do. What's up, Eddie? We in here arguing about shit. What's up, Eminem? Yeah, we've been talking about them big baits. What line you like throwing big baits on, Eddie? He got a half a boatload of big baits that he used to throw. And I'm not gonna lie, I have threw them on braid. Just I think all depends on where you're at. On Fort right now, I don't know that I wouldn't throw it. It'd have to be on braid. Because there's absolutely too many obstructions for mono or anything. £20 vicious. See? I agree with you. When I can find the shit, I don't have to. Like the last two times I tried to order it, they back ordered it as soon as I put an order in for the shit. So, yeah, I had enough of that. And with these 3 and bigger ounce weights, I'd probably go to a 25-pound vicious. But Steve, that combo I told you about a couple of weeks ago, I backed out of ordering it then. And I finally ordered it. It ought to be here tomorrow. By Tuesday or Wednesday, I hope to be fishing with it. It'll have 25-pound P line on it, though. But put junk on junk, right? And I would have upgraded the damn rod, but the shipping. What the fuck? I'm not paying $40 to ship a fucking rod when everything you buy is supposed to be free shipping. No. No, I didn't. I don't know if you've watched the short that I put on YouTube. That was about the most excitement that we had there. Well, that and the boat ramp. Boat ramp was fucking interesting, like it always is. Especially when a lake's 6.5 foot low and you're really backing way off in there. Rob couldn't remember if he put the plug in. Well, we're lined up to go, and he pulls up, check, make sure he put the plug in. Comes back around while a guy got ahead of us, which that's fine. But it took him an hour, and he was blocking the entire ramp to get in the water. And there was a woman there said, "Hey, it was worse yesterday. It was about 2 hours he blocked the ramp." Which them are barely 2-lane ramps anyway. It does not take much to make it a 1-lane ramp. But damn, he needs a buddy to go fishing with him. The only 2 fish I seen on the lake, Rob hooked on a chatterbait. And one of them, he never even set the hook. It hit it right at the boat. And the other one, he set the hook on. And I don't know. My grandmother, she's got a strong hook set. And she's been dead since 96. And it was actually a pretty decent fish. It was probably over 3. But it spit his jackhammer at him at the boat. He was setting up for one of them boat flips. And I think he let a little slack. Lou, most of these lakes around here, like Pines, I fish all the time. Now Lone Star, where I fish a lot, neither one of them boat ramps you can launch more than one at a time. Tankersley, where I fish a lot, you can't launch but one at a time. Pines is a Corps of Engineer lake, and they did one thing right when they built ramps. They built them wide. They won't keep some bitches cleaned off, but they built them wide. Fork's always an on and off lake. And I have not fished it probably 5 times in my whole life, and it's an hour and 10 minutes from me. And there's a reason for that. Because there's never a day that it's not crowded wherever you go. Brian T. Okay. Yeah, it probably is. Because I've sat there and fished against people that had the jackhammer and I didn't. And they 3-1, 4-1 sometimes. But there's other companies out there that make them that are just as good, that are not near as expensive. There's a small company down there around Toledo Bend that makes jigs and chatterbaits and different stuff. And they've, to a point of almost perfectly copied the jackhammer. And their baits are $7.50 a piece. So you can buy 2 for what you can buy a jackhammer. I just got to drive to Longview to buy them. And I drive to Pittsburgh and buy all the jackhammers I want. Oh, for what I would spend on the gas going to Longview, I just will buy the jackhammers. And that little place in Pittsburgh, I'm trying to keep open. So I buy a lot from them. And Steve said jackhammers are king. Brand new one right there. That's a color I hadn't used, but it's a color I wanted to try. I generally throw the spot remover or a white. And I have a black and blue or 2. What store in Pittsburgh? You don't know? R&N, the marina. Tell them Big John sent you. They sell the bass cats there. And I don't know if I said it, but that's the Bee Hot Delight. It's kind of a chartreuse and pumpkin seed looking to me. I promise you on that lake, you won't be the only one throwing your boats. You might be the only one throwing them the way you throw them, but you won't be the only one throwing them. I promise you. That lake's got like right now 8 functional ramps, and every one of them was full Friday, and every one of them holds 100 boats close to it. Yes, you were, and you were smoking my head because I didn't have a black and blue jackhammer then. The only black and blue chatterbait I had was the regular one. But I will tell you right now, it's not the time to come down to it. If you had never been, wait till it's back at least close. Do you some map study before you get there. If you're going to dream about it having grass in it, that's over with. There is absolutely none. It has a shit ton of standing timber, but it won't when it fills back up. Like I say, I've had good days on Fort, and I've had bad days on Fort, and I've had good days on every lake and bad days on every lake. And you're right, it humbles a lot of motherfuckers. A lot. Mm. 90% of the time, I'm fishing for one. And it may not be exactly the style you do it, but it's as consistent of fishing for one as anybody does in East Texas. And I watched Mr. Eddie fish for one, and he's caught as many ones as anybody I know. And he does it totally different than you do it. Day in, day out, he's a monster. Fishing with a little bitty jig. So I never leave the house talking about, well, I'm going to go catch 5 unless I'm fishing a tournament. And I mean, when I pulled up on Fork, I threw a big bait way more than I threw anything else. Until we got in the spots where I wasn't losing big baits. Oh, you do good up there. Definitely. You got the dedication. And if I can stand on the front of the fucking boat, I'll grind all day. But when I'm standing in the back of the boat and it ain't getting run like I want it to, it don't take long for me to sit down and say, fuck it. That's why I generally fish longer in my kayak than I do on the back of somebody's boat, because I can put it where I want it. Back in, Lou. I promise you. And they don't do it on purpose. They've just got a mindset of the way they want to fish. And I've got a mindset of how I want to fish. And generally, about half a day is all I can stand to fishing the way they want to fish. Yeah. Oh, God. You ain't fishing the back of these. Eddie's the only one that ain't never just totally fucked me every time we went. Eddie will put me in position to catch fish. I was sitting on a stave. I'm on, for instance, on Fort today. I was sitting on a point that I know had fish on it. It was too pretty not to. And it was a little windy. And anytime he'd get close to put me in position, he would back off. I was trying one of your tricks. I ain't gonna say it on here. You can say it on here. What you told me about how to throw them. And yeah, it was frustrating. So I just picked up a jig and did what I do. Eddie, you generally don't. I mean, there's days when it's so windy it don't matter. You can't help but to. I understand that. And that's kind of what we were dealing with when we were on that point. But if he would have just pulled up where I wanted to and let me fish for 10 minutes and sat there and do what I've been doing for the last 40 watching him fish, I believe I'd have caught a fish. I mean, it got to the point where right before we left, I tied on, I don't even want to say it, a Carolina rig. You know it's getting bad when I tie on a Carolina rig. Because it don't matter what depth he puts me in, I can catch fish with it. How fucked up of an angle he's got me. And I ain't just harping on Rob. Buck's the same fucking way, if not worse. With Buck, I got to figure out how to catch him in a different direction than he's fishing. You was talking about how to fish it, like which direction to cast it, what you want everything to be around you when you're casting, like into a certain direction and all that. I mean, it's shit you told me personally, and I'm not gonna put on here. Something about them windy days and shadows and stuff like that. By tomorrow evening, I should be through working on my kayak. Yeah, all that. Yeah. And I will tell you that the last few fish I've caught on big bait, that's what I was doing. Which it worked out. The boat was screwing me around. Well, on that big rod, I can let one go. And he was running away from the sun and away from the wind. So I did what you said, and that shit worked twice in like 3 casts. I landed one and one followed me to the boat. Did you get your graph fixed? So let's don't talk about that, Lucy. You got to bring up bad shit. Hey man, the main reason I went to Rob. Rob has 2 of them head units that are exactly the same. And I left this morning and got about 40 miles away from his house. And I thought, well, I didn't get neither one of them bastards. And I have, Mr. Eddie gave me that graph to start with. And I have another one sitting here. I just hadn't wanted to hook it up because it's a little bit bigger. I was also, I don't know if Gary's in here, Mr. Triggs is in here. He offered me a high dollar graph, but damn, it's big and I won't be able to put it where I had it. I try to say, listen with other people. It's a pain in the ass to get that scenario. So I keep one on the deck. Anytime I see that scenario around structure that I want, depth changes that I know are there, I throw it. But I'm putting a anchor trolley on my kayak where I can just get pointed into the wind and do my thing. The only problem with that is I can't make them big bombing ass casts out of that kayak. It just don't happen. Yeah, Lou, sometimes I'm a dumbass. I left up there at like 6 o'clock this morning. He was still in bed. I'd actually had intentions of coming home and trying to fish. Well, I'm fucking an hour from the house. I get a call. I'm already on the lake. I wasn't even fucking with him because he's going a mile back in the woods. I wasn't even fucking with him. Sorry if my language bothers y'all, and I'm not even drinking tonight. Just speaking the truth. And he wore them out. He caught 35 fish today. The biggest one about 5.5. Well, he actually caught 40. 5 of them were bow fins, anywhere from 5 to 10 pounds. But he's back in my hole that I don't even know if I can get a kayak in. I mean, I know I can, but I'll have to paddle like 4 miles just to get in there to start fishing. And I have not been in it enough to do that yet this year. Couple weeks, I'll be ready for that. Yeah, my hole in Pines. It's on fire right now. But you can't get in it like we got in it. You're gonna have to put in at the intake tire, paddle out around the burnt tree, and go in at the back way. Because them 2 cuts up there on the north end of it, they're dry. And I'm not dragging my kayak through mud. Yeah, Dustin, right where you met me. He caught in between there and the burnt tree, he caught, I think he said 35. Smallest one was about 2, he said. What's up, Scott? What won it though? Because the only other person I've talked to about it, they didn't. I don't even think they caught a stringer. So 15, 15 that's bad. I hadn't fished it in a while. It's been a month since I fished it. But hell, we didn't fish 5 hours and we had 20 pounds. And we were fishing totally different than everybody else. Everybody was throwing jerk baits. We were throwing rattle traps and I was throwing glide baits. Yeah. I don't know. That lake gets so much pressure, dude. What was the water temps? Because I'm thinking about fishing one day this week, and I know they're going to knock down a little bit after Monday, but Scotty, you need to let me take you out there. I might not catch any fish, but I'll show you every good hole on that lake. You can ask Mr. Eddie. I know all the holes. Till I was about 26, I lived about a mile from that marina on the lake. Less than a mile from that marina. And there's one spot I'll show you if you like fishing out deep, if you like fishing deeper water, that nobody fishes anymore. And I sat out there and caught hundreds and hundreds of them during the evening out there. But that was, that lake gets a lot of pressure. And there's certain spots on that lake that everybody hits. And one of them, I can come in behind them and catch fish. Actually, a couple of them, but oh, everybody fishing on 2 islands. And I've seen some big fish come off there. Matter of fact, biggest fish I ever caught in my life came off in between them 2 islands. Yeah, you're used to big water. Yeah. Yeah. I'm used to Pines and Lone Star. And every once in a while, a couple other little lakes. It's been 100 years since I've been on Toledo. And I don't know that I've ever fished Rayburn. I've been down there a time or two, but I don't think I've ever really fished it. Last time I fished Toledo, it was perfect. It was a grass lake. Throw your weightless Senko and catch all the fish you want. Yeah. Definitely, yeah. They playing grass still in Lone Star too, wasn't they? That's how the last time I went out there and I caught a bunch of fish, or we caught a good bed of fish. We were ripping rattle traps. I mean, and everybody gets hung up on the red. I don't think necessarily has to be red, but we were ripping red rattle traps. And that's why I keep one rod with braid on it. Here's my frog, rattle trap, heavy cover jig rod. Yeah, chatterbait works in that grass too. What was the water temps? That all the time. All the big fish I caught on that grass last time. Something like that. That'll float right over the top of it. If it hadn't topped out yet. 52 to 54, still that cool. I figured it was up in the 60s. I bet that north end's up in the 60s. I bet there's fish on bed up in that north end. Yeah, I imagine I have to go out there and see. I ain't been out there in a little bit. If it gets up one up over 60, I'll start throwing that chatterbait. I'll get away from that rattle trap and I'll start throwing that chatterbait. All right, Steve. Hell, I figured you was already gone. I know you got to work in the morning. I too, but it's a different kind of work. Yeah, y'all are to be just about where we're at. Hell, y'all got one more. You getting snow this next front, or y'all gonna be clean and just cold? Scotty, when that water's still 50, 55 degrees, late in the day I'll throw that chatterbait. But up until then, I'm either gonna be throwing a red rattle trap or a flashy swimmer with a shad colored paddle tail on it. If I'm trying to catch numbers. And that red rattle trap on the right spots of grass on that lake will produce big fish. But it's not a spot on that lake. I want that water closer to 70 when I start throwing top waters. About 65. And I mean, I know a guy, I'm not gonna mention his name, that fishes Lone Star as much as anybody I know. And I've known him for a long time, like 40 years, 30 years, 35 years. Uh, and you can't beat him on that lake. And pretty much year round, he throws one bait out there. And it's a black and blue grande worm, like a stick bait. He's either got it weightless or he's got a little bit of tungsten on it. All right, Eddie. Have a good one. And he will put a whooping on you with that little stick bait. Makes me sick because I can sit there and try to throw it like he does and not catch fish. But did you say fish on beds? I know Buck said they seen them today on Pines working beds, but hell, that could have been Buck Bass up there making beds. That always happens, which we're getting close to a full moon. Water temps are right. They're going to go to bed pretty quick. Yeah, males up there, yeah. That's what I figured. So that old fat girl's still sitting out there in about 6 foot of water somewhere, waiting on him to get through and eating. What's the day? The 4th or the 5th? Days of 6. Okay, I thought it was the 5th. You about a week to the full moon. So yeah, they can do their thing pretty quick. That little be like the wind will kill you on 100%. Everybody says, "Oh, that's a little light. The wind can't get bad on there." Man, anything over 6 miles an hour is a pain in the ass on that boat. If it's due north or due south. I mean, I can hide some spots, but yeah, it'll whoop you. I'm 48 years old and I've been fishing it since I was old enough to walk. I don't like it when it's dead calm, but damn, any more than 6 miles an hour. That lake's rough. You let it get up 10 or 12 like y'all had Saturday, it can be hard. Oh, I bet you did. Scotty, if you do email me, and if you got to fish that lake again, I'll drop you a couple spots. It's that lake's temperamental too. Lake's a little bit of weather change, they shut down. Worse than any other lake around here. Yeah, I say we had wind all day today too. Yeah, you can. If you don't put it on here, just go to my about section. Let me make sure. I think my email is in my about section on Facebook, or I mean on here. Let's see. Yeah, it's on there. BigTrapper73 at gmail.com. You look in the about in the description, it's on the second line. Lou, it acted like it was here. We need some rain. I wouldn't even bitch about it. But all it'd do is mist and just look bad. All right. Yeah, Steve. Yeah, just send me an email. I'll get back. I'll give you all my contact information. Scotty, I mean, I've been talking to Steve all night. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I can Put you on a couple spots on Lone Star. What tournament was that y'all were fishing? Because I had a buddy that fished out there. Was there more than one tournament? That's the worst thing. There's usually 2 or 3 at a time out there. 50 boats, that's like you can walk from boat to boat. Huh. Texas Raylan, another YouTube guy, he fished it. I don't know who he fished it with. Or if he fished out of his boat or what. But that's what he said this weekend, that he was fishing a tournament on Lone Star. And I talked to him about the end of the day Saturday, and they said they struggled all day. I don't even know if they weighed in. But there's no telling. I didn't really ask. They said it's just hard. Look at weather. After lunch to Lone Star, which they ought to really be locked jawed up then. Cold front, no. All right, y'all, we've been on here over an hour. I'm finna call it a night. I've had a rough weekend. Hadn't slept a whole lot. Try to catch up. And can't promise y'all ain't fishing videos soon, but I got everything else coming. I may not hit my goal of putting one up every day, but it's gonna be close. I'm finna film one when I get off here. All right, y'all. Have a good one. And I'll catch y'all Thursday night, about the same time.